Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
I push that weight to get that dough, but I don't break cause I've been broke. If ain't no pain, then ain't no growth. To keep it 100, I came in to run it and bet if I had to, I'd do it again. It ain't no race if I don't win. I push that weight to get that dough, but I don't break cause I've been broke. If ain't no pain, then ain't no growth. To keep it 100, I came in to run it and bet if I had to, I'd do it again. It ain't no race if I don't win. Trust I'm coming up for that top spot, coming up for that throne. Trust I'm coming up for that drop top, coupe sitting on.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Grind. I am your host, Korrey, and we're here to talk about all things WWE. You can catch The Grind every single Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on Sertoba Media, SIRTOBA Media, every single Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern. And you can catch The Grind on many different social media platforms. Those platforms will be available for you all to see at the end of today's episode. Now, let's get into what we got for today.
If ain't no pain, then ain't no growth. To keep it 100, I came in to run it and bet if I had to, I'd do it again.
All right, look like we got a good weekend of wrestling going on here. WWE taking over Saturday and Sunday. And we're going to talk about both events right here on today's episode. So no jumping around, no beating around the bush. We jumping right into it, starting with Saturday night's main event. One of the matches that was just thrown in recently was Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green for the United States Championship. And this is how you know WWE is watching what is being said online, because a few days ago, a scurry came up about there was no women, noticeably, there was no women on this card. Because at first it was Dominic Mysterio and Penta for the IC title. And for some reason it got switched up. Anyways, so we're running this back again for the third time or something like that for that United States Championship. There's a bit of a story here, but nothing that's too, mind-blowing. It was great to see Zelina win the title. But for some reason more than not, I feel like WWE is about to take it off of her and they're about to put it back on Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green's popularity is undeniable with the fans, more so than Zelina. I'm still on the train up. I wish they would do some of her theme music. Like, I don't think it's bad, but like it's just low and it just doesn't really give, if that makes sense. So I am going to go with the Secret Harvest, the president of the Secret Harvest, Chelsea Green, to recapture the Women's United States Championship from Zelina Vega with all the shenanigans that is going on. So short-lived title reign. I'm sorry for the Zelina fans out there. She does deserve this and deserve a longer reign. She's very great in the ring, but I got a feeling they're going to put it back on Chelsea. Chelsea Green takes home the Women's United States Championship. All right. Probably the most blood-driven feud that we have going on is Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. This story has been festering for over a year. And once again, Drew McIntyre has found himself in a storyline that makes sense. That just it's amazing what this man has been doing right now. And he needs more flowers. He needs more recognition. It's time to put a world title and give Drew McIntyre a real world title reign in front of people. It's just crazy what he's been doing to elevate himself and that person he's across. And Damian Priest is no slouch. He's improved himself over the last couple of years, but this thing has gotten personal. Crash out season all through Friday Night SmackDown. Like, I think it's just time that, Drew gets his flowers, Damian gets his flowers. And I think this could be the match of the night between these two, settling the score in a steel cage match. For this match, I think Drew McIntyre will come out on top. The last couple of major feuds that Drew has been in, he has not came out on top. And I feel like it's time for him to start ascending into that world championship scene permanently. He's so freaking amazing, and he deserves this. Damian Priest will be okay. But Drew McIntyre wins the steel cage match over Damian Priest and ends this story. Well, every childhood hero somehow turns into the enemy. You live long enough, you see the hero turn into the enemy. I forgot where that quote came from, but I think it came from a movie. But John Cena versus his childhood, admiree, R-Truth. Now, it's great recognition for R-Truth. Absolutely. He has been gold for years now, and played his role well, similar to Chelsea Green, who I mentioned earlier. R-Truth is just a gem, a diamond, and throughout everything that's been going on, he has kept himself relevant by playing his role and being the absolute best at his role. It was great to see on SmackDown to see a little bit more of a serious side of R-Truth. You always see him, kind of joking and everything else, but it's a little more serious now. And I hope he does have, a pretty decent match with John. I have high expectations for this. So if you're going into this, you think it's gonna be high expectations in real life wrestling match, you're delusional. But I think it'll be entertaining for what we're going to see. John Cena, I don't believe his title is even on the line. So I could see R-Truth sneaking a win here and then ending up getting a championship opportunity on a random Raw, SmackDown, whatever it may be. So, my brain is telling me John Cena, he's going to win the match because, he's of whatever tactics to win. But I got a feeling that they're going to try to pull the wool over our heads and R-Truth going to get some type of fluke win. So I'm going to roll with it. R-Truth for the win over the WWE champion, John Cena, and he gets a WWE championship opportunity. Moving on to another title that will be on the line is Jey Uso, the World Heavyweight Champion, versus Logan Paul. Now, I don't care what the other y'all say. Logan Paul theme song kind of hit. It's kind of crazy, humble. It's so good looking and still humble. That joint kind of fire. It's kind of heat. I'm like, okay, I'm rocking with this a little bit, Logan. I'm rocking with this a little bit. But anyways, it's been back and forth between them two for the last few weeks. Jey Uso kind of, firing the first shot after Logan Paul had some words about him. And then Logan Paul has been sneaking him ever since. This is just kind of like a filler type thing. Jey Uso is going to retain the World Heavyweight Championship without a doubt in my mind. Logan Paul, I think, will eventually become a world champion, though. I really do think he will. Gunther is waiting in the wings, though. And I would love to see a Logan Paul Gunther match. I think that would be fire. But Gunther is waiting in the rear view mirror for a couple of weeks to see who is going to be champ. And I think it's going to be Jey Uso. I think Jey Uso is going to beat Gunther again as well. So I think I love the fact that they're investing into Jey even more after he's won the title. You can see the backstage thing before the Royal Rumble happened earlier this year. That Triple H told Jey Uso, I'm going to put the strap on your back, that rocket blaster on your back. And he has kept his word. So Jey Uso retains the World Heavyweight Championship over Logan Paul in a decent match. In the last match on this card, and it's kind of intriguing to me, is Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker in a tag team match against Sami Zayn and CM Punk. I don't need to go through this whole timeline with you. If you're new to this, if you have not been watching wrestling for a while, go back to WrestleMania and start there to catch yourself up a little bit. But to be honest with you, you need to kind of start back a couple years ago when Punk came back and Seth Rollins' reaction. But nevertheless, this match should be fun. All four are great workers in the ring. There is story behind this with Seth Rollins trying to, impose his will, impose his vision onto the WWE, and he clearly wants to be the World Heavyweight Champion. I know y'all saw this online, and I believe it too. This is giving Evolution vibes, Shield vibes. It's like a merger of the two, if you will, because you can equate Seth to Triple H and Paul Heyman to Ric Flair, Braun Breaker to Batista. So who is going to be that Randall Keith Orton of this crew? And it's up in the air. Like, they have a lot of great talent throughout WWE, but who's going to fit that group pretty well? Because they're clearly not done filling that group out yet. And it's going to be exciting to see who is it going to be. It would be kind of crazy to see if Seth Rollins, reaches back into the bag of Triple H and says, there's always a plan B. You never know. So I think, though, that with this match, I believe Seth and Breakker will win. They are a newer faction that they are trying to get over with the fans. Even though the two individuals, or three if you count Paul, has already broken that fourth wall, whatever it is you want to call it, with the fans. Like, the fans are going to love them regardless. But like, the seriousness and the meaning behind this faction gets more established with wins. So I believe Seth and Braun find a way to win, and this story is clearly far from over. Now, to continue to this great weekend of WWE programming, on Sunday, we will be seeing Battleground from our friends at NXT. So we're going to talk about Battleground, starting with the first match, which is Hank and Tank with Josh Briggs versus the Culling, which is Shawn Spears' group, formerly known as Ty Dillinger. It's this thing just kind of started up. It's not something that has a lot of investment into it just yet. I still believe that, they took the North American Championship off of Shawn Spears way too fast, but it is what it is. It's been kind of, that thing over the tag team championships. Hank and Tank has been fun to look at. Josh Briggs, man, he is an amazing worker. His tag team partner just went back to Japan, allegedly. He's just an amazing worker. So getting him onto the card makes sense. This should be fun. NXT normally with these type of matches just kind of go all out, and it sets the tone for the entire show. So I do believe that the Culling will get the win in this match because, again, they're a relatively new faction. To establish factions as being credible, they can't just come together and then they just start, losing all the time, i.e. the WyattSicks coming back and destroying the entire tag team division on Friday night. But they need to have something to establish the message, what they're about, etc. If they continue to lose, it's going to fall on deaf ears. So the Culling takes the win over the tag team champions of NXT and Josh Briggs. One match that should be fun is for the NXT North American Women's Championship, and that is Sol Ruca versus Keilani Jordan. I'm here to tell you right now, this is going to be the match of the night. These two women are phenomenal in the ring. They have great chemistry together. They came in together, basically, and I feel like this is going to be a story that will, in the ring per se, not like the story overall, but the story in the ring, will be phenomenal. The amount of moves they're able to do, like, as long as it's smooth, it's seamless, like, they can put on a crazy show. And I think Zarya is going to play a key role in this match as well. But when it's all said and done, Keilani Jordan will fall short. I don't know why they're keeping her in this kind of mid-card thing. It's time for her to move up. And I know we got a lot of heavy hitters, but a couple of them just moved up into the main roster. And I think another one may be moving up here soon. So I think Keilani Jordan, it's time for her to get up into that main card NXT championship scene. But I do believe Sol Ruca will retain the NXT Women's North American Championship. And Zarya will have a part to play, but Zarya clearly is jealous of Sol having that championship. So when does that implode? Who knows? Next match we have on the card is NXT champion Wyattfamily versus Miles Bourne, the Randy Orton carbon copy, allegedly. But this match should be fun. This is more, to me, it's kind of like a litmus test for Miles Bourne. From what was being said online, a lot of people are high on him throughout NXT, and that he is very, very good in the ring. And I think this is going to be his coming out party. This is going to be his display. If he comes out here and he messes it up, who knows if he gets another opportunity against the NXT champion. I do not see Wyattfamily losing this match. I think it's going to be very close, more close than what people think. to help elevate Miles Bourne. But I see Obafemi taking this title. It's going to take an astronomical person to beat Obafemi, but maybe this builds Miles Bourne to become that person who can take down Oba. So Miles Bourne loses in a very, very, very strong effort. Obafemi continues to be the NXT champion. Next match we have on the card is the NXT Women's Championship with Stephanie Vicaire versus Jordynne Grace. And I'll be honest with you, again, another match where I feel like it could be match of the night. Both women are amazing. If you have not watched Jordynne Grace before WWE, go over to TNA. I think it's like TNA Plus or something like that. I can't remember what their streaming services is called, but you need to watch Jordynne Grace and her evolution. I remember they used to call her Big Mama Pump or something like that, you know, as a homage to Big Papa Pump. But then this girl slimmed down. She got muscular, and now they call her the Juggernaut, and that is such a dope nickname. It's so dope. Like Jordynne Grace is so amazing. Her against Stephanie Vicaire. Stephanie Vicaire is just so freaking amazing. Her presence, her aura, like she's just different. She's just different. She's established herself well with the NXT audience. But I know when she came into this, she stated she didn't want to be in NXT long. She wanted to go to that main roster, but she wanted to come in, learn the WWE way, work on her English, things of that nature. If Jordynne Grace isn't the one to take her down, then who? That would be the question. Who? So, man, I'm fighting between this, but I'm gonna roll with it. I think we have a new NXT Women's Champion in Jordynne Grace. I think Jordynne Grace picks up the title, and I would love to see other stars that they've started to build get some shine too, like become that Women's Champion, like a Jada Parker, a Kalani, a Soul, or whatever, get into that real like main championship picture. But I think Jordynne Grace takes down Stephanie Vicaire. Stephanie Vicaire has been on the main roster shows for a while, for a few weeks, and she seems to fit right on in. But I'm gonna miss, the whole Booker T thing. I don't know. They may hold off until the draft too, so who knows? But Jordynne Grace becomes the new NXT Women's. All right, now an inter-promotional match between TNA and NXT for the first time ever. The TNA World Championship will be on the line as champion Joe Hendry. Yes, we believe. Versus Trick Williams. Trick Williams has been going down this downward spiral with this brand new attitude. Because he can't be champion, and probably just frustrated because he hasn't been able to hold the champion for a significant amount of time. There is no way on God's green earth TNA is about to let that title get dropped to Trick, and be on NXT and everything else. Even though I think it would be great exposure, and it gets dropped from Joe Hendry. There's absolutely no way. There's no way that's going to happen. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be able to put, that TNA World Championship on display just like it did at WrestleMania, and get more eyes on TNA. And it's been a great partnership between TNA and NXT. But Joe Hendry, with a standing ovation, will finish Trick and will continue to be TNA World Champion. Now, the last match on this card, and the match that I feel like has the most storyline to it, that is super personal, and I don't understand why it's just a regular match. So it must be turned into some sort of series, hopefully. It is Tony D'Angelo versus Stacks, his former underboss, his second in command of the D'Angelo family. And this has gotten personal. I mean, personal. Stacks has already taken out a few members of the D'Angelo family, and Tony is just basically all alone. He betrayed him at the last Stacks. Betrayed Tony at the last PLE for NXT, and it's very, very personal, and I think that Stacks has been amazing. It's going to be amazing to see how this plays out into the ring. Hopefully it turns into some type of, they create some type of mob boss type of match or whatever between these two. But for this match, I do see Stacks winning. They're trying to establish Stacks as his own act now, his own character now outside of the D'Angelo family. And, I think he needs a huge win in order to do that. Tony D'Angelo has been amazing since joining NXT. He knew what his character was. He knew how to talk, etc. He's held multiple championships. But I see Stacks beating Tony D'Angelo in this first of probably 2 or 3 in the series between them two. Stacks beats Tony D'Angelo. And there you have it. Those are my thoughts and my predictions off of these 2 PLEs or 2 programs, because technically Saturday Night's Main Event is not a PLE. It'll be live on NBC. So take a moment, go down in the comments section and share your thoughts, your opinions on what you think is going to happen during these 2 shows over the next 2 days. And I hope that you all are able to tune in just like you're tuning in right here for the grind. Speaking of that, before we head up out of here, number 1, follow Sirtoba Media on all social media platforms. Again, it is SIRTOBA Media on every single social media platform. You can follow the grind on many different social media platforms. You will see that here in just a moment. And remember, stay true to what you do, stay true to why you do, and always stay true to you. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Be safe. I'll see you next week.
I push that weight to get that gold, but I don't break 'cause I've been born. If ain't no pain, it ain't no growth. So keep it 100, I came in the